I think I see the Blue Devils from Ellenville on their way. Let's hear it for the home team, our Ellenville Blue Devils. Home senior night here. All right, here we go. We have 11 seniors all together, which is the most I've ever had. All right, here we go. Senior Matthew Cognato, escorted by Joyce Cognato and Mackenzie Stevens. Yep. Go walk right there. Just straight down. Senior Chad Conklin, escorted by Mr. and Mrs. Conklin. There, now you're arming on. Good job, good job. Senior Richard Falcone, escorted by his mom, Dia Long and Gianna Tamburello. Senior Tymir Francis, escorted by his uncle Randy White and brother Saran Briscoe. Senior Julius Maldonado, escorted by his mom and stepdad, Mr. and Mrs. Valdez, and his dad and stepmom, Mr. and Mrs. Maldonado. Senior number 55, Christopher Pinkerus, escorted by Mr. and Mrs. Pinkerus. Senior number 23, Casimiro Palmalis Jr., escorted by Sarah Palmalis and Casimiro Palmalis Sr. Senior number 1, Christian Rezemenecki, escorted by Mr. and Mrs. Rezemenecki and Olivia. I added that for you, Christian. All right, senior number 53, Brock Salstrom, escorted by Mr. and Mrs. Salstrom. Senior number 56, Ryan Thompson, escorted by Mr. and Mrs. Thompson. And last but definitely not least, senior number 28, Nathan Town, escorted by Mr. and Mrs. Town. Yep, head down there, we'll try and take one big group photo. Thank you once again to everyone coming out, and special thanks to the seniors, a night that you will never forget. Starting offensive lineup for Ellenville. This will be the defensive team. So in the defensive line, number 58, Cesar La Santa. Also on the defensive line, number 61, Matthew Cognato. And the third member of the defensive line, number 29, Richard Falcone. And I'm sorry, at defensive end, number 5, Julius Maldonado. At linebacker, number 12, at linebacker number 23, Casimiro Palmalis Jr. Also at linebacker number 28, Nathan Town. At cornerback, number 4, Giovanni Velez.
And rounding out the starting defensive team at cornerback, number 7, Dylan Nero.
All right, hello everybody out there on YouTube and in repeat broadcasts on Channel 20. This is Mr. Buckler coming to you live this evening. It is Friday, October 21st. It is 6:55 p.m. local time here in Ellenville High School in Ellenville, New York, and we are here for varsity football. It's going to be the Blue Devils of Ellenville taking on the Blue Devils of Livingston Manor and Roscoe. And we look forward to this broadcast. I want to give a big shout out to all of my crew upstairs. We have Victor, we have Josh, we have Brandon, and we have Matthew. So a big shout out to all of them bringing you the pictures this evening. I know they're going to do a great job. This is Mr. Buckler, as I said. You can probably hear in the background Mr. Ron Chasen, Athletic Director for Ellenville High School, or Ellenville Central School District. And a big shout out to Eric Gregory, the scorekeeping referee up here in the booth with us this evening. If we have any technical questions, you can be sure we're going to be looking for him for some answers. So it's going to be Roscoe/Manor to kick off, going from right to left. Ellenville will be receiving the kick. And the Roscoe Manor Blue Devils in navy blue and white, or almost black and white, while the Ellenville Blue Devils in their traditional blue and gold, wearing pink socks and attire as well. So you can probably hear Mr. Chasen confirming that the scoreboard will be the official time this evening. We, thanks to our referee up here in the booth, keeping time for us. It means that the scoreboard clock will be accurate. So we have 12 minutes of football for this first quarter coming your way. Ellenville coming into this game. The favorite, I believe, Roscoe Manor, have lost all their 6 games so far, I believe. So Ellenville will be looking to add one more. Obviously, Roscoe Manor will be looking to have something to talk about going into the off-season here. This is potentially the last game of the season for both teams, unless they add any end-of-season scrimmages or if they make the playoffs. I know Mr. Chasen was telling me that Ellenville has made the playoffs, so we're yet to see who they'll be up against. I think it will be next Friday will be the game date, but we'll get more on that information to you. Stay subscribed and up to date with all sports and Ellenville goings on by using the website. There's the Ellenville Athletics on Twitter. There's the Facebook page for the Ellenville Central School District. And it's going to be a nice sweep around the right. He's going to break the tackle, break the second tackle. He's going to go all the way. Number 16 for Ellenville. And number 16, Jacob Wright with the touchdown. So Ellenville getting off to an early score here. Barely a minute taken off the clock. And Ellenville has a 6-point lead. So tonight is homecoming night or senior recognition night. So there's a nice crowd out in attendance this evening. And the seniors you may have seen if you're watching on YouTube were recognized prior to the game. 23 sweeps around the left for the 2-point conversion. That's Casimira Pomales. So earlier this afternoon, the Ellenville Central School District Junior Senior High School celebrated all their fall sports teams with a homecoming pep rally. It was a lot of fun. We had some music, some games, and all the sports teams modified through varsity were recognized. So it was a nice afternoon here in the district. It's a beautiful day. And now this evening it is a beautiful night. It's a little crisp. It's not crazy cold. It's certainly above freezing. And I've been here in previous years gone by where it has been bitterly cold on this potentially or this last home game of the season. But not too bad this evening. Not too bad. So here comes the kickoff for the Blue Devils of Ellenville. Nice long kick. It's going to bounce straight through the receiver. The live ball. He's going to pick it up. And he's going to get stopped on about the 10-yard line. So really nice play there by the Ellenville Blue Devils. So now let's see what Roscoe / Livingston Manor can bring to the table. Give you some information on their team and their setup. So the superintendent is Mr. John Evans, principal Mr. Adam Larson, athletic director Mr. David Eggleton, and their coaches we have Mr. Michael Hill, assistant coaches Mrs. Amy Hill and Mr. David Irwin. And Ellenville recovers the ball on the first down. And, well, we had an inkling prior to the game that Ellenville was going to be the favorite coming into this one, and the opening minutes are not going to disagree with that. Ellenville has already scored and got a turnover in, well, the opening 3 plays here. One of their own, I think they scored on. The first of Roscoe Manor's, they've gotten it back, and it's going to be a touchdown. Let's get a shot of the player who got the touchdown. It's number 23, Casimir Pamales, with a touchdown.
Touchdown, Ellenville.
So this might be a long evening for Manor Roscoe. Blue Devils obviously want to win today. It's homecoming weekend. There's an event tomorrow. The throwback, 16 is going to run it himself. And he's going to make it inside. That's Jacob Wright with the 2-point conversion.
2 points is good.
And so we are looking at a double score already here, 16-0. And there is still 10.5 minutes left in this first quarter. So this is going the right way if you're an Ellenville fan. It's not going well if you're a Roscoe Manor fan. So, good game so far for Ellenville Blue Devils. .28 there, happy with the tackle. That's Nathan Town. Let's take a look and give a shout out to how many people watching. 7 people watching out there on YouTube. We thank you for joining us live this evening. Oh, they stop him. Double teamed on the number 21 for Roscoe. That would be Robert Stout. Number 5 grabs it, throws it back to the 7. And the 7's going to motor down the left side here. Pamales gets a tackle on him. That's nice play by Anthony Typelke, the number 7. He's a senior who plays 3 positions, quarterback, wide receiver, and linebacker. Oh, he's going to run and get stopped and dropped by multiple members of the Ellenville defense. This Manor, 2nd down, 2nd and 10 on their own 45, 45. And Town sacks the quarterback for a loss of yards. It's Anthony Zamanek.
Big loss. 3rd and about 20.
3rd and about 16. By the looks of it, 7 hands off to the 21. He goes to the left. There's a nice little hop and a step. He won't quite make it. So it's going to be 4th and long, or 4th and 10. So we'll see if they go for it or if they punt it back. And so Roscoe Manor did punt the ball, so it's first down Ellenville. Deep in their own half. The slow jog becomes a sprint down the left, and it's going to be a first down and a touchdown for Ellenville's number 23. There might be a flag on the play, though.
It looks like there was a hold, and I think it was number 7 on Ellenville.
So there might be a hold on Ellenville's number 7, so touchdown will not stand.
By a penalty.
We'll see what the official.
It would have been another Pamales touchdown, but
Ellenville. 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
so it's going to be first
Still
and
first down.
long now for Ellenville. 10-yard penalty pushes them all the way into their end zone to start this play. So it's a disappointing hold there against the Blue Devils, but Roscoe Manor has to get something their way in this game. Number 16, he looks to run all the way to the right. He's going to not get too far. Dropped on about the 10, which I think means it will be about 2nd and 10 now. On the 16, the quarterback doesn't really go anywhere. Folsberg wants to claim, Manor Roscoe wants to say that they turned the ball over. Don't think they did. Well, it's going to be third
Down.
and about 12. So Roscoe Manor's defense coming up strong here, and that's good. They need a response here after going down 2 scores quickly. Now they're putting up a bit of a fight. There's the referees.
False start.
Yeah, it looked like a false start to me. The referees confirmed it.
That's a 3 or 4 yard line. Third down.
And Ellenville just maybe getting a little bit too overconfident from their opening 2 scoring plays here. They're now right deep in their end zone. Well, they thought they had a touchdown, but there was a holding penalty. It would have been 3 scores, but now they've got to really work for this. And a break down the middle. And if there's no foul, can he get through? He can get through. Impressive. Now he's got to chase on the 16 or the 6. Can't quite get him. He does slow down to let him on. And that is a touchdown from Pamales. The 76 was trying his hardest. That would be Braden Green was trying his hardest to catch up with Casimiro Pamales, but he was unable to do so. So that is a touchdown for Casimiro Pamales yet again. So that's 2 for him tonight.
Point conversion.
So Blue Devils do now have 3 scores from one end zone to the other. So a lot of running yards going to be added to Pamales' career stats here. That was probably close to a 90 or even 100-yard touchdown run right there. Straight down the middle for Ellenville's quarterback, number 16, Jacob Wright.
24.
He's got 1 touchdown himself this evening. And a couple of 2-point conversions. And so now there are 3 scores on the board. Ellenville were made to work for that third one a lot harder than they were the first 2. But the end result is the same. Ellenville have scored now 3 times in the first quarter. We have about just under 6 minutes remaining in this first quarter. If it stays like this, you feel Coach Kavanaugh will start switching out some of the lesser used players. Nice stop off the kick. Number 3 took a fairly hard hit. Ellenville's player was nice to make sure he was okay. I think it was Pomales. Number 3 is Logan Park. And he's up, but it's going to make sure he's okay. There's a face mask penalty on Ellenville. So is that half the distance to the goal? What's face mask penalty? 10 yards?
15.
15 yards. The first one is 15. So a 15-yard penalty on the Blue Devils brings Manor Roscoe way up the field, just into the Ellenville half now. Number 5, oh, he tried to drop the shoulder right then left, and Town wasn't having any of it. Or was that Richard Falcone? I'm sorry, it might be 29. Falcone? I can't tell if it's an 8 or 9. It might have been 8. If it's 8, it's Nathan Town. I think it was him. So loss of yards there on that first down. Second and 16 here. Oh, nice spin. You can't quite get much of a gain on him. That's Anthony Tepelke. So we'll be third down and about 15. Number 7 thinks about a throwing play. Oh, almost worked. And number 89 had it in his hands, Kyle Hendrickson, but just couldn't bring it under control, and it flew right through him in the end. 10th grader, number 89. So it'll be fourth and 15. High throw back, and there's the kick. So a nice kick to gain lots of yards for Roscoe Manor.
Partially blocked, still a good kick. First down, Ellenville. On about the 15.
So you can see a lot of the Blue Devil players wearing pink. A lot of the fans and players and staff members and the community was encouraged to wear pink this evening and today in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. There is a breast cancer awareness walk taking place on Sunday here in Ellenville at the school. So registration for that is about 8:30 in the morning, I think. With the walk starting at 9:30. Nice catch, number 5. Oh, and a slip by the Manor defender. Number 7 can hopefully get him. He does. Number 5 did really well for Blue Devils. That's Julius Maldonado.
31 of Livingston Manor, Roscoe.
And number 7 for Roscoe tried to slap the ball out of his hands. Anthony Tepelke, he had the speed to catch him. But what a gain of yards there to go from their own 10-yard line or so way up now to the Manor 32. He's going to charge right down the center, and he's going to drop just in front of the 20. Pamala is looking for his 3rd touchdown.
Second down.
So it doesn't quite make 1st down. It'll be 2nd and 2. Pamala is down the left side, gets into the end zone.
Pass is good for a touchdown.
And that is his 3rd touchdown of the evening, Ellenville's 4th. Makes it 24-0 here. As we near the end, 30-0 as we end the move towards the end of the 1st quarter. Just over 2 minutes remaining in this 1st quarter. Ellenville dominating Roscoe Manor by 30 points right now. Looks for a throw, instead runs down the center and gets into the end zone. Number 16 yet again, Jacob Wright. I think he's got a 2-point conversion on every touchdown that Pamala has scored. And there's a nice shot of the scoreboard, 32-0. My camera crew have come a long way since the 1st game of the season, being that this is essentially the end of the season now, and they're up there running everything by themselves. They know what to do. So a big shout out to all the camera operators, vision switcher. They're doing a fine job. There's the punt. Not sure where the ball is. There it is.
Flag on the play.
I can almost. Personal foul. As he hit him out of bounds. So Ellenville yet again, silly penalties. Just, I mean, it's not, from the way this game's going, it's not going to have an impact on the score this evening, but it certainly is, well, it's unnecessary if they're dominating the game so well. No need to give away silly penalties. So 1st down, Livingston Manor, Roscoe. Number 7 takes it on his own volition, gets about half the distance. Number 7, Tapelki. This time the 3 is dropped. Not sure if he made enough yards. It's Logan Park. Don't know if he gained any, maybe gained 1. Number 5 is going to look for a throw. No, he's going to run it and gain. Don't know if he quite gained it. I don't think he got enough.
The 4th
So it's going to be 4th and short by about 1. So they're going to go for this. They're not going to kick this. They're in decent position. So they're not going to punt this. They're going to try to play the 4th down out. Fakes the handoff, goes through. And he was able to spin a couple of tackles.
Close. And Ellenville stops them, takes over on down.
But the Blue Devils do stop him. So it will be 1st down, Blue Devils, from about the 35-yard line.
Welcome, Superintendent Wiles is in the house tonight. Welcome, Superintendent.
So the score as the seconds tick away here, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is the end of the first quarter, and the Blue Devils are dominating 32-0. So if you're an Ellenville Blue Devil fan out there, you are enjoying this evening, I hope. So 1st down, Ellenville from the 33-yard line, let's say that. Going to the left now. Hands off to Pamales, who rides 1 tackle. And can he go all the way? Can they cut off his lane? I don't think they can. Pamales knows he can just make hay this evening. He's got the beating of pace of just about every player on the defense. All he's got to do is maybe break 1 tackle, and that time he did. Someone got his arm on him, he broke through that, and that was it. He's away. And he's just going every time. 4 touchdowns now for Pamales. Let's see if it's complemented by the Jacob Wright 2-point run-in conversion that we've seen, I think, 3 times so far. Yeah, there is a homecoming dance tomorrow night for all, I think, the entire junior senior high school, so that's going to be a popular event taking place here at the senior high school gym, I believe. So let's see what they do here. There's the handoff, the fake handoff, and number 16, his feet did cross over the line. And the scorekeeper here in the booth says he made it. So that is 40 points on the board for the Blue Devils. That's 4 touchdowns for Casimir Pamales, 4 2-point conversions for Jacob Wright. And the 5th touchdown for the Blue Devils was from Jacob Wright, I believe, as well. So Blue Devils, as we said, dominating this game. The kickoff. Let's see if they can avoid any silly fouls on the kickoff here. Oh, he breaks the first tackle. Does really well to break that first tackle. The 77, that would be. That's Hunter Banks. Did a nice job there to break that tackle. So 1st down, Livingston Manor. Roscoe throws it to the side. And he steps out of bounds, number 5. That would be Anthony Zamanek. Gain of about 2. Concession stand is bustling this evening. There is a large crowd here for senior night, and it is cold, so people want some of that hot food. So shout out to the class of 2023. High snap. The 7. He's going to lose his footing there. from the first tackle made by, I think, the 21. That's Pedro Bonachea. Was able to get something on the running quarterback. The Ellenville coaching staff, led by Dan Kavanaugh, assisted by Andrew Grigliano and Jim Wright, will be pretty happy, I'd imagine, with the way this is going. A couple of, small things to work on. That's essentially avoiding fouls and penalties. Other than that, this game's going pretty well for the Blue Devils of Ellenville. They stop him gaining. In fact, they've lost yards now. It's going to be 4th and 11, or even 12. So that this time they are going to punt it, being they're on their own 44-yard line. Ellenville's number 1 deep in the backfield. Christian Zemanecki, he's going to try to catch it. He does catch it. No, sorry, it's number 7, not Zemanecki, it's Nero. And he gets almost up to the halfway line. Dylan Nero, nice kickoff return there. Or a punt return, I should say, not a kickoff.
It hasn't officially been announced, but I'm pretty certain our Ellenville football team will be receiving a sectional berth.
So Mr. Chasen confirming the Blue Devils will be receiving a sectional berth.
After this weekend's action.
I believe the seating meetings will take place after this weekend's games. And this win tonight will certainly help. So 8 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Blue Devils lead 40-0, and it's first down on the Ellenville 46-yard line. Handoff. Quarterback doesn't give it to the 4. Instead runs it himself down the right. Number 16 is going to get a touchdown here. Number 5 cannot stop him. And so Jacob Wright with his second touchdown of the day. So right now, you have to say it's the Jacob Wright, Casimiro Pomales show. Maybe they'll, well, I guess it depends on how you look at it. They could either give him a break in the second half, but also that this is their last game. Jacob Wright is an 11th grader. Pomales is a senior, and if you want to try to set records for the team, which I'm sure Pomales is either already holding some records or knocking on the door of a few records. He's going to want to play as many minutes as he can in a game like this. So and Ellenville is stopped, I believe.
Extra point, no good.
They do not get the 2-point conversion for the first time this evening. So it's 46-0 for the Blue Devils now. As we see the clock is ticking down, 46-0 the score. And Livingston Manor Roscoe won't really want to come out for the second half, I don't think. There's the kick. It's a low drive. It bounces through the returner. He drops to his knees and says we'll restart from here. Thanks. Might be the 25-yard line. Close to it. So first down, Blue Devils. A throwing play hits the ground as Ellenville's number 7 is escorted off the field to a resting position. Doesn't look like we'll see any more action from him tonight. That's number 7, Dylan Nero. He's been in the action today, but looks like The way he's limping, I mean, he's on his feet, but I don't think he'll get on the field if he's limping like that. He's being assisted by, looks like 55, Chris Pinkrus. So second down, 2nd and 10 for Livingston Manor. Roscoe steps out of bounds to avoid the tackle. Gain of about 3 on the play. So it's going to be 4th and long. Well, 4th and 10 by the looks of it, and surely they're going to punt this. No, 3rd down. Sorry. So 3rd and 10. The snap. The quarterback's going to run it to the right, then tries to go back to the left-hand side, and actually it might work for him. Can he get first down? He can. Can he go all the way? 23 Pomales is going to push him out of bounds. Great run from Livingston Manor. Roscoe all the way to the 40-yard line or close to it.
Nice run, Livingston Manor. Roscoe.
That's the number 7, Anthony Tepelke, the running quarterback there, 12th grader.
45-yard line.
The largest yard gain they've had, I think, from a single play. Maybe the second. Not had many of those, that's for sure, but that was a really good one. So they do not need to punt it. That was the 3rd down. And now they're at 1st down on the Ellenville 45. So much better that time from Livingston Manor. Roscoe. But to say it's an uphill struggle at 46-0 is an understatement. Quarterback goes for the throwing play, and number 5 catches it. He might have been just out of bounds. Excellent throwing play.
Somewhere, Dr. Devin Kraft is in the house.
And it was a great catch, but it will be 2nd and 10, as I think he was just out of bounds when he caught that.
Home game.
It's disappointing. But again, it would have been potentially a touchdown throw if he could have kept it in bounds. He was away from the defender, I think. But it's not going to count if it's out of bounds. So 2nd and 10. The handoff. Can't go back too far. Now he's moving forwards. And he will make 1st down against number 2. So number 5, great running there for Roscoe Manor. That's Anthony Zamanek. Tackled by Christopher Morales in the end. And that's more like it from Livingston Manor. Roscoe. If they can go into the halftime break with a score on the board, they'll be delighted. They got 2.5 minutes to get a score here until halftime. Oh, and the throwback is too much. The 7 drops it, has to collapse on the ball. And that's disappointing. A loss of about 15 from the snap. So it's going to be 3rd and long. 3rd and 25 yards thereabouts. What a shame. Doing so well. Roscoe Manor finally get a little bit of momentum. A couple of 1st downs in this drive. And then to do that is, I'm sure, a little disappointing for them and their coaching staff. They'll resume this second. I think it's 2nd down now on the Ellenville 47. Minute 40 and ticking here until halftime. Here's where it will need to be a long 2nd down. Number 7 tries to go through the middle. Blue Devil defense of Ellenville says no way through. 4 players in that mix. So it'll be 3rd and long. It's about 20 yards to go. Number 7, Dylan Nero, is trying his best to warm back up again. He's actually walking better than he was before, stretching. Number 7, make sure he has safe hands, goes for the throwing play. It's right down the center, a little bit too far in front of the 6, who he was aiming for. He was aiming for, well, I don't have a 6 on my roster sheet for Livingston Manor Roscoe, but he is wearing a 6. Or is it a 5 or is it an 8? If it's a 5, it's Anthony Zamanek. Maybe it's not a 6. They need to move here. 3 seconds. 2, 1. The halftime buzzer goes. This play will get in. Can they get a touchdown? Not like that. Catches and drops the ball. So we are at halftime here. Blue Devils lead with a significant lead of 46-0 here at the Ellenville High School football field. The Ellenville Junior Senior High School football field, and Coach Cavanaugh and Garigliano and Wright will be pretty happy with the way this is going. So we'll be taking a little break ourselves here, and we will be back for the second half. And so we are back for the second half here. Thank you to everyone tuning in on YouTube, whether live or on a repeat. And also for repeat broadcast on Channel 20. This is Mr. Buckler bringing you Blue Devil football. And tonight, the Blue Devils of Ellenville take on the Blue Devils of Livingston Manor Roscoe. Nice catch off the kickoff. And a really good return by the number 2. That would be Nicholas Cusimano, 12th grader. So we'll see what Livingston Manor can do here. They have their work cut out. Let's see if they can do better in the second half. They lost the first half 46-0. Let's see if they can get any points on the board here in the second half. And at least give them something to talk about on the bus ride home. But for Ellenville Blue Devils, tonight's going pretty well. It's a senior night, homecoming weekend. There was a pep rally earlier today. There's a homecoming dance tomorrow, which is sold out. And so it's a time to celebrate here in the Valley. And if the Ellenville Blue Devils can score, well, potentially a record-setting scoreline, if they can keep up the pressure in this second half like they were in the first, it could be a very special night. Going to try to go through the middle. It's not going to work. Number 5, Anthony Zamanek. So the 7,700 Banks is out there. The 85, Joshua Hendrickson, is out there. Number 3, Logan Park. Number 7 comes out. That's Anthony Tapelke. So 3rd down, 3rd and 7. Number 7 looks to do the throwing play, instead runs to the right. He's got to get past the 28, which he will not do. Gains a few yards. Ellenville's 28, Nathan Town, made sure he wasn't getting past him. But he gained a couple. 4th and 4 yards.
Like Livingston Manor Roscoe will go for it.
Number 7 stood back to wind the throw up. He should make first down here. Little quarterback sneak.
First down.
Would be nice if they can get on the scoreboard. If you are a Roscoe Manor fan or player or staff member, you'd like not to walk away with a 0. His first down, number 7, throws it almost to the 5. Anthony Zamenek, his intended target. So 2nd and 10 here for Livingston Manor Roscoe. Number 7 instead runs left instead of throwing it, and Town, the 28 Town, does get him to step out of bounds. He's going to be very close to the line here. I think he made it. First down.
First down.
Nice job by Livingston Manor Roscoe. They're making their way down the field here up to the Ellenville 32. Temperature is starting to drop here, and yet Coach Carigliano for the Blue Devils still wearing shorts. The cold doesn't bother him. Flag on the play. So a full start. So it's going to be a penalty on Livingston Manor Roscoe. I think a 5-yard penalty. So first will be 1st and 15. Number 7 fakes the handoff, instead goes forward, then right, and then has to stop as he is tackled. 21's in there, Pedro Bonachea. So is number 28, Nathan Town. Well, Ellenville's main man on defense, number 61, comes out. That's Matthew Cognato. Number 1 checks in, Christian Zemanecki. Will be 2nd and 14 or 13. Number 7 throws it, and he catches it. Gain of yards. Not quite enough for a first down. A nice little play there. Nice toss to the 85. That's Joshua Hendrickson. Means they have still about 5 yards to go here on 3rd down. Number 7 hesitated, then ran left, now runs right. He might be able to get first down there. He is tackled. I think he does make first down.
First down, Livingston Manor Roscoe.
So right from the 20, 20 yards to the goal. Can they make it? Just over 4 minutes remaining of this 3rd quarter. Number 7 does throw it to the side. He catches it this time. Great play. Held onto it well under the tackle. 85, Joshua Hendrickson there with the catch. Really positive play from Roscoe Livingston Manor. First down. So it will be first and goal. This is the closest they've come to Ellenville's end zone. Number 5 looks right, now looks left. He's going to gain about 4, maybe 5. So second and goal.
Second and goal, about the 5-yard line.
Number 7 brings him into a much tighter formation. He's going to try to go right through the middle. He's not going to get there on this down.
Third down.
So it will be third and goal.
See, the Blue Devil mascot has made its way into the house. Go Blue Devil.
Number 7, he's getting chased down here. Breaks that first tackle. Can he go all the way? You think he makes it?
Touchdown, Livingston Manor, Roscoe.
Excellent play by the number 7 for Livingston Manor Roscoe. Anthony Topelke gives the crowd on the bleacher on the far side something to cheer about. That is 6 points on the board for Livingston Manor Roscoe. Very good job here. About a minute 30 remaining in the third quarter, and they have some points on the board. I don't think he makes it. So no 2-point conversion that time.
2-point fail.
But they did get 6 points on the board, so great job, Livingston Manor Roscoe. So just under a minute and a half remaining in this third quarter here.
Long drive to
Number
the
2 for
line.
Ellenville getting ready to come back out. That's Christopher Morales.
The Blue Devil is in the house.
Livingston Manor Roscoe to kick off here. It's a low kick. Drives at the 56, who drops on it on about the 48-yard line. So that's where Ellenville will restart from. Right, takes it himself, Down the center to the right, and he should break through here. Can he get away from the last one? Tries to hold him off, and he might just have been short.
Just shy of the goal line.
Number 16 and 65 there. Just talking pleasantly, looks like the 16. I can't tell who the 65 is. It might have been 85, Joshua Hendrickson. I'm sure it's 65 for Livingston Manor Roscoe. I don't know who that is. And do they call a timeout? No, that's the end of the quarter. So we are at the end of the third quarter. Ellenville right on the edge of the end zone. It will be first and goal when we resume the fourth quarter in just a minute here. But Blue Devils lead 46-6. So a really nice lead built up here by the Blue Devils of Ellenville. And we'll be back shortly for the fourth and final quarter. All right, so we're ready for the fourth and final quarter here. And we begin the quarter with a touchdown, I believe. I think that was Casimiro Pomales with his 5th touchdown of the evening. Jacob Wright with the other 2. As Ellenville leads now 52-6. Pomales looking for the 2-point conversion. I think he just about gets it. Had to work for it, but it's good. So he gets it, 54-6. 2-point conversion for Casimiro Pomales. There's number 2. Talks to him as he leaves. Nicholas Cusimano there, number 2, having some words with Pomales.
Makes the score 54-6.
So yeah, 54-6 here in the fourth quarter. It's going to be a good night for the Ellenville Blue Devils here at home. A nice score to bring into the homecoming weekend, which wraps up tomorrow with the homecoming dance. Big shout out to Joey Pensabene on staff tonight. There's the kickoff from the Blue Devils, picked up by Roscoe Manor.
They didn't have a chance to check out under the Ellenville Athletics blue tent. Tribute to our seniors.
Yeah, there was a nice tribute to the seniors underneath the tent here outside the tower. And it's nicely decorated down there as well with lots of balloons and Blue Devil paraphernalia.
For the Blue Devils, 54.
So the quarterback will try to run down the center. He will get stopped. And the ball might have come loose, and Ellenville recovers the ball. And then they drop it themselves, and Roscoe Manor dives back on it. So it's going to be a loss of significant yards, but not a double fumble, I think.
So maintains possession.
No, it was a turnover.
Livingston Manor, Roscoe.
No. Yeah. You call that? Yeah, so a double fumble. First by Livingston Manor Roscoe, and then by Blue Devils of Ellenville. So it will become Livingston Manor Roscoe's ball, but it is second and long. First and long. No, it's not first down. Yeah, it's Roscoe's ball. Well, I guess, yeah, if it's a fumble, then the possession changed. So it is first down.
Because the Blue Devils were
Right. So it is first down. Yep, it won't be second and long. It's 1st and 10. And there's a handoff, which they haven't done too often, and he gets stopped. So in some ways, Blue Devils of Roscoe Manor got a little bit lucky there that they got absolutely lucky that it was a double fumble. Meant that they didn't necessarily loss of yards on the down. It was just loss of yards on the field, but first down. So they got about 4 back. 2nd and 6 here inside their own half. Number 7 hands it off. They try number 3 down the center. That's Logan Park.
Stop. 54 again.
So 3rd and 2. I'm going to try to push it over the line. Not going to get it. It's going to be 4th. That's just over 6 minutes remaining in this game.
Livingston Manor, Roscoe.
Throw back to the 3, or to the 5, I should say. He's not going to quite make first down. That was first down. I'm a little confused. I apologize. It's now 2nd down. All right, second and 4. Number 5 is tackled. It's Anthony Zemanek.
Third down.
5 minutes remaining in this game. Blue Devils looking at the victory. Looks like it might be number 54, J. Rod Neville out there for the Blue Devils. A name we've not said or seen too much on the defensive end. The defensive line. And off number 7 is going to sweep around the back to the right. Number 2 can push him out of bounds. So Christopher Morales just making sure the number 7 doesn't go too far, but he does get first down.
First down. Good drive.
So first down for Livingston Manor Roscoe on the Ellenville 38. 33, sorry. Number 2 drops the ball, and Blue Devils pick it back up. They want to, and another double fumble, I think, unless he fell out of bounds. Now they're changing over the roster, so I think that is a recovery by the Blue Devils. So a fumble and a turnover in possession. It will be first down Ellenville. They getting confident though when the ball is fumbled. They don't just pick it. They don't just dive on the ball and take the first down. They pick that ball up and try to go for it. So do we have a timeout here? Timeout Ellenville Blue Devils, as they will be taking over the ball on their own 34. But yeah, they're confident. When that ball breaks loose on the fumble, they like to just try to pick it up and just get an immediate touchdown if they can, which, hey, why not? You can go for it in this kind of a game. But you'd think in a close game, you might want to just take over the ball. But they're confident that they can score right away. So confidence is reflected on the scoreboard. 54-6 is the lead right now. It's a 48-point lead with 3 minutes, 22 seconds remaining in this game. Ellenville has 2 timeouts left, while Livingston Manor Roscoe has 3. Don't think they used any timeouts in the first half, but that's our first one we've seen in the game so far. So first down, Ellenville Blue Devils. 23 Pamales is on the sidelines taking a break. So is number 16, Jacob Wright. They're both taking a break now. Number 4, nice play by number 4. He's got some pace as well. He's going to go all the way unless number 3 can just grab him before he gets to the end zone. He grabs his heels and he makes it. Number 4 for Ellenville Blue Devils, Giovanni Velez with a touchdown.
Great run by Giovanni Velez, but there's a flag on the play.
Oh, but there is a flag on the play.
Holding Ellenville.
And that's disappointing for Velez. He thought that touchdown was his. What a shame for Giovanni Velez. Really nice play by the Ellenville number 4. He had a lot of work to do, a lot of tight space to get through, and he managed to do it, got away, made a super run. Coach Kavanaugh talks to him now. But sorry, Mr. Velez, that is not a touchdown for you.
15-yard penalty.
15-yard penalty for Ellenville Blue Devils. A 10-yard penalty, sorry. 10-yard penalty.
Second and 20, first and 20.
So it should be, looks like a 5-yard penalty. It's like it's first and 15. Number 56 has to swing left. He's going to get stopped. Oh, and he drops the ball too. It goes out of bounds. The 56 for Blue Devils is Ryan Thompson.
Fumble, out of bounds.
Good play by Livingston Manor Roscoe to make him fumble the ball, but fumble and then it rolled out. So
Second about 14.
yeah, it will be 2nd and 14. So just a 2-minute, unofficial 2-minute warning. We are at 2 minutes on the scoreboard. Blue Devils still leading by 48 points here. Second down, number 29 takes it to the right this time and through, but not through enough. It's going to be 3 and 10, 3rd and 10. As the clock ticks away here, approaching the final minute. So 3rd and 11. He's gonna in the backfield. He's gonna get dropped. Oof. Almost 29 sacked. That's Richard Falcone. So 4th and long. With 25 seconds remaining, they're not going to punt it. They're going to play it out here. Maybe get one last down in before the clock hits the buzzer. But it's going to be a Blue Devil win, and that's what matters for all the fans here this evening. Yep, thank you. A big shout out to the referee in the booth here this evening, helping us out. Eric Gregory, thank you so much for your help today. And there is the buzzer. Final score, Ellenville 54, Livingston Manor, Roscoe to 6. And that does it for this evening. A satisfying, satisfactory, and very pleasant victory for Ellenville on their homecoming weekend. Let's make sure we see the handshakes between both sets of teams, and then we will wrap it up here. So I want to say a big thank you to all of my tech crew upstairs. So a shout out to Josh, to Matthew, to Victor, and to Brandon. And a shout out to Cameron and Chad as well up there. But that brings our coverage of this game to a close. So a big shout out to all the Ellenville Blue Devil fans for getting the victory here tonight. 54-6, your final score. This is Mr. Buckler signing off. Thank you so much.